this video, what I want to show is how to problem solve when a panel is too big or doesn't quite fit. And again, this is the wrong vehicle for this particular pin. It was printed for a Ford Taurus. This is a Buick. So as I'm laying out the graphics, it's a horizontal panel, laying out the fender, and again, the graphics are fitting so far. So for here, place it, looks good, but because I want to make sure both sides are symmetrical, and the hood on this side, the green kind of comes down to the passenger side, I take a measurement so I know exactly where the green line is going to start on the passenger side. So that's kind of locked in. So I have to go off where the hood is because the hood's been on and where it's going to lay on the passenger side. So I come back over to the driver's side and I measure from that point 6.5 inches, and I notice that this green line has to come back about 3 inches. But because the graphic is too big for this vehicle, if I go back 3 inches, it's going to go into the back light. So the Rap Institute logo is going to get cut off. So that's not good. So for me, how do you deal with a situation like this? For me, it's very important to see in sections based on the print. What I have now, and I don't have it all the time, but I have it now, is I'm going to separate this section here along the green line because it's nice and straight. The purple on the right with the red is very busy, but that green section is just a solid section of green. So for me, I can use this as a tool to make this section work so I can avoid having to do an entire reprint. So I shift this panel aside for now. And then what I want to do is I have the main panel in place. So again, before going live, I just pull it back, hold it away with the magnets, and then I take another measurement to see exactly how far that green line has to come. So it's symmetrical, 6.5 inches. So I come back with my water soluble pen, make a tick, and because I cut that side out with a snitty, it's not 100% straight, but it's straight enough where it gives me a very good idea of where it needs to go. I put it in position based on where it's going to go when I'm done with the final install. So I set everything up, make sure the Muto is straight and symmetrical, that whatever graphics you have on there. Very important to stand back and kind of double check it. So here, once I get good set up here, I make my tick marks with a water soluble pin. I can't emphasize how great this pin is for installing. Once I make my tick marks top and bottom, what I want to do now is create an overlap here, obviously. So when the purple comes down, that's where the green line wants to be, is where the tick marks are. So I want to create about an overlap of about a 1/2 inch or about 1 centimeter. So I just pull the knifeless tape down as super straight and symmetrical as I can, nice and even. So I pull it down, lock it in place, and then run it down. So again, this is full print film. You can use finish line here. No problem using this, and like the string, it's nice and strong. So once the driver's side is being applied, you just apply it as normal and just go straight over the finish line there. Squeeze everything in place, cut everything away. So once everything's in place, and again, just create glass, never cut until everything's in place. So again, this whole entire side is all set up, ready to go. Want to stick around here and just release the knifeless tape right away. So again, once I get everything set up, run a finger, I pull off the excess film, just cut it away nice and clean. Once I pull it off nice and clean, then I can release the knifeless tape. So again, I have excess top and bottom in case this string breaks, but it comes off clean, or almost, and then I start. So it dogfights me there. So here, always have that excess film at the bottom of knifeless tape. So once I set it up here, I fold, hold the fold, pull. So again, always have backup. Really good to have that. Pull the excess film away 180 degrees to keep the film from popping up there. Then always want to go back and squeegee it, clean it with alcohol, and then come back with another line of knifeless tape. So again, I want to overlap there. You can eyeball it with just another line of finish line here, but that might be a little asymmetrical. So what I like to do now is come back with bridge line. Bridge line is a little wider, same string as the finish line, but now this gap, that's an overlap that I'm fine with for long-term durability. So again, mixing and matching my knifeless tape based on what I need. So again, bridge line is generally for in between doors, but I can use this as a tool for overlaps. Why not? So try to get creative with your knifeless tape and then run it down, because now I have a 100% perfect symmetrical overlap that's wide enough for long-term durability for full print wraps. Never want to do a butt joint there. Very important to emphasize that. So once I get the bridge line set up, I run it all the way to the top, come back with my piece, and now this is technically a two-piecer, an overlay piece, if you will. So what I want to make sure is that I have enough green, obviously, to cover over the string in the middle of the bridge line, top and bottom. And then I want to make sure if there's graphics in the panel, in this case, I want to adjust them so they're straight and in the right position. So I kind of make any types of adjustments, top and bottom. Magnets are really critical here. No need to rush this point because this panel is so small and easy to put on. I'm not worried about the install portion. The thing you should really focus on is getting proper alignment. So notice how I'm kind of getting extra magnets here to kind of make sure it stays in the right position, making any type of adjustments. This is a very difficult area to take your tape measure and make straight. So this is more about eyeballing and making sure it feels right based on any straight text in the car. So I stand back, double check the alignment, see how it's looking. And again, this is more of a gut feel. And again, this comes in time as an experienced installer. Once I feel like it's a good position, I'm going to take my water soluble pen, and because it's such a small panel, I want to go cowboy here. You don't have to, but again, for me, why not? Take advantage of today's material because it's not super aggressive, low tack. Again, you can just take off the backing paper, and now you're just going to match the water soluble marks to what's on the car. So again, just fold the backing paper, then pick the material up, and then just kind of line up the green. Again, this is not super critical in terms of not registering anything. Doesn't have to be super precise, just kind of have to be in the right position where I want to make sure the Muto stays straight, make sure it gets past the line and the bridge line there. So again, just kind of setting up. Have I made my permanent hinge yet? No, because I really wanted to make sure to stand back and double check again to make sure that the graphics are straight. So in this case, I make an adjustment and now start creating glass. So I pick it up here, and this is where really critical to start right, especially on a Fender. Don't rush this point. Now I make my permanent hinge at the top, and then I do my triangles to create glass. So once it's locked and loaded, look how easy it is to kind of pick it up, spread the tension out, and create glass. So I make sure I get the front corner there, glass, and squeegee. No need to pick up and hold the material away, just lock it in place. Same thing here. I'm going to use the shape of a triangle, pull down and away, makes it super flat and easy, and then squeegee. So I haven't squeegee yet on this right side. Only when I have glass do I squeegee. So again, very important to get that set up there because again, it just creates speed. So again, create glass with nice even tension by pulling, then lock and load. So once I get everything squeegeed in place, very easy to kind of get that wheel well set up. And again, by wrapping this in two pieces, it actually makes it easier, obviously. And you're hiding the overlap on the print. So now that we're here, we want to release the string of the bridge line. So again, just cut excess material away. Careful not to cut the car. Pull the string, pull as flat and perpendicular as possible. Once you get to the bottom, remove the excess film, and bridge line is extra wide, so pull extra flat 180 degrees so it doesn't pick up the material. But even then, a lot of material was picked up by the bridge line. So again, because that is extra thick filament there, or that's behind that section. So you always want to make sure you grab a heat gun and kind of relax the edge before you make a final seal. You don't want any tension on that edge. So again, just giving a little bit of heat just kind of triggers the memory effect, makes it go back flush and even and flat. Then you go back and seal the deal with a finger and or squeegee. So again, just make sure you get a nice, good, clean, straight line there. But again, the overlap is basically hidden by the print. Nice and clean, no registering there. Make sure you finish the wheel off as normal. So again, this particular side was a good clean cut style wheel well. The other side, passenger side, is wrapped all the way under. And then just cut and seal everything off as normal. So again, make sure that there's no air underneath the overlap. In this case here, again, there's a little sliver of green bridging the chrome molding at the bottom. So I'm cutting on the chrome side, heating it up to relax it. Then I cut. So I didn't heat and jam it in, I cut and relaxed. Very important step there. So again, I don't have any tension there for the long term. Tucks just underneath the chrome molding. Really good stuff for that bottom portion. And now we have a shot of the final wrap. Here, if you're a client, this looks perfect. And if you're an installer, you really don't even see that overlap anyway. So again, end of the day, the graphics are saved. So again, that seeing in sections based on design, you get a final product like this, no need for a reprint. And if you're an installer, you just save the client a lot of money and time, and that builds work for future reps. Thanks for watching. Justin Pate.